An accidental fire darkened the skies over campus yesterday afternoon. We'll have all the details coming up.
The diversity of the Tech campus is on full display during a special week of events. MCTV's Nick Hay has all the details next. Later, a colorful creative show recently graced the stage at the United Supermarkets Arena. Reporter Abby Aldrich has a special behind-the-scenes look at the Cirque du Soleil's OVO.
In movies, television, and Kim Kardashian are making headlines this week. Tiara Bryant has all those stories and more in this week's Entertainment Express.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Reyna.
And I'm Alma Bustamante. Students, faculty, and staff leaving campus yesterday afternoon were caught off guard as a thick black smoke covered the north side of campus.
That's right, Alma. A fire on a portion of the roof of Tech's new Sports Performance Center resulted in dozens of emergency personnel responding to the construction site. At approximately 5 p.m., a piece of hot metal from the upper roof fell to a lower section in the northeast corner of the building. The metal fell into a pile of roofing materials, starting the fire. The molten metal was created by welders who were working on top of the building. Within minutes, the roofing material was completely engulfed and workers called 911. Before fire crews arrived, the roofing material created a large amount of smoke, and that attracted attention and onlookers from around campus. Although the fire was isolated, there were some questions regarding the safety of construction workers near the scene. Luckily, no injuries were reported. According to Tech officials, the fire was fairly small in comparison to the amount of smoke created. Today, officials announced that no additional damage was found and the construction schedule should not be affected. The Sports Performance Center is scheduled to be completed by the end of the summer.
Yesterday's fire just happened to take place several hours after the Tech's emergency notification system was tested. During the 10:50 a.m. class change, a Tech alert drill was scheduled to test the various systems used to notify the Tech community of an emergency. Students, faculty, and staff received text, phone calls, and emails with information about the test, and the campus tornado siren system was activated. Digital signage monitors also display a message notifying passersby of the drill. In the event of an actual emergency, all of these systems would be used to notify the Tech community of a potentially dangerous situation affecting campus. The only exception is the sirens, which will only be used in a severe weather emergency. The Texas Tech alert system is tested twice a year during the fall and spring semesters.
Every day, thousands of people from throughout the United States and the world call Texas Tech home. And each year, groups from around campus come together to celebrate the diversity that makes the Tech campus such a special place. MCTV's Nick Hay has more.
Diversity Week kicked off Monday at noon in the Student Union Building on the North Plaza. Hosted by the Division of Institutional Diversity, Equity, and Community Engagement, students and members of the Tech community were encouraged to enjoy free food and entertainment to celebrate and understand our differences while appreciating the diverse nature of our collective cultures.
Texas Tech has a very vast and diverse culture that exists, and this week is kind of a week where we find some common ground to explore different cultures, to get some knowledge on different cultures, and have a chance for students to interact that may not interact at different times.
Events and activities continued through the week as students interacted with art and apparel. Hosted by Associated Students About Service, this unique opportunity allowed participants to show how they present themselves and reflect on how they truly feel.
We want people to be able to express if they feel inadequate, if they feel like they don't belong. A lot of times we find out that students, everything is okay, but inside they're really struggling. We're going to leave these shirts up all day so people can come and read and just kind of see how people do present themselves and how they really do feel.
Stomping Out Stereotypes was just one of the efforts that students and visitors were able to physically take part of throughout this week, which was hosted by the Department of Psychological Sciences. Stereotypes that present themselves throughout our daily lives were written on poster board and covered in bubble wrap. Students were able to stomp and pop out their feelings towards what affects their lives.
We encourage students to walk around the stereotypes that we've placed down, find the one that strikes a chord with them, Maybe they know someone that they care about, that stereotype doesn't apply to that person, or even that the stereotype doesn't apply to themselves and they're part of that group. And it's about building an awareness that we have great diversity within individuals in terms of their characteristics, but also great diversity within groups of individuals.
Like any other event, I hope it's not just a day. I hope it's not just a week. I hope it's a continuation of what we stand for here at Texas Tech.
The annual Diversity Week here on the campus of Texas Tech University has been full of inclusive performances, discussions, activities, and lectures. Celebrating and understanding diversity, for MCTV, I'm Nick Hay.
Diversity Week continues through Saturday, and there's still ways that you can get involved. For more information and a full list of events, visit the Student Union and Activities website at sub.ttu.edu. Just look for the Diversity Week 2017, link in the middle of the page.
It may be hard to believe, but the spring semester ends in just under 8 weeks. If you're not walking the stage at graduation, then you know that means registration is just around the corner. On Wednesday, the Office of Transition and Engagement held a special event to help students get ready for fall registration. The Ready, Set, Register fair was held in the sub ballroom, and the students could stop by between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. During the fair, representatives from across campus were able to help students get ready for registration by providing information about registration holds, financial aid, and to also give advice regarding academic goals and plans. The Ready, Set, Register fair is held during the fall and spring semester each year. If you missed out on this year's fair, you can still get registration advice by contacting the Office of Transition and Engagement. Just visit studentengagement.ttu.edu for more information.
2017 is shaping up to be a big year for entertainment in the Hub City. Garth Brooks, Chris Tomlin, and Daniel Tosh are all scheduled to make appearances in Lubbock before the end of the spring semester.
And less than 2 weeks ago, the current strings of big acts was kicked off by a set of performances that had never been seen before in West Texas. MCTV Abby Aldrich has joined us with a behind-the-scenes look at this unique act. Abby?
Thanks, Alma and Megan. A highlight of exploring Las Vegas is bound to include one of the famous productions by Cirque du Soleil. However, communities across the United States now have the opportunity to experience one of these performances right in their very own backyard. In a little over 15 hours, the United Supermarkets Arena transformed into a colorful ecosystem filled with many acrobatic insects.
Over 1,000 pieces to create elaborate costumes and 19 trucks filled with equipment, artists and performers from all over the world.
So we are here, sometimes it's very 10 to 10, you know, it's big days because we have trainings, but like when the show starts, you do your makeup, 30 to 45 minutes each, and then you warm up and then you go on stage. So, but before that there's some trainings happening all day.
Everything comes together to put on one show. Oboe.
It's kind of a day in the life of a bugs colony. So they live peacefully all together, and one day we have the foreigner, which is a funky blue fly, as we like to call him, and he arrives with this big egg on his back, and he kind of disrupts the harmony because he's new, no one knows him, and they're kind of wondering what he wants and what he's doing here.
This mysterious egg leaves the insects curious and represents the cycle of their lives.
The bug arrives in the colony with an egg, and he wants to protect the egg, but then he falls in love with the ladybug. So it's kind of, you know, he don't want to let go the life he had before, so he didn't want to let go the egg. But then there's a love story about, you know, the bug and the ladybug together. So at the end, he let go the egg, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go, you know, live my life with the ladybug. So it's really about life and love.
The entire production is put on by 100 people from a total of 21 different countries. And with so many different personalities and languages spoken, the excitement does not only happen on stage.
It's really fun to be backstage and trying to learn new languages, or, you know, in the kitchen trying to have new foods from different other countries. So yeah, it's really amazing.
When we're touring, you know, we're 100 people. We all have different backgrounds. We're coming from different countries, and we have different ways of thinking. We speak different languages, and we can all live together a little bit like this colony of insect that you see in the show.
Traveling constantly and being away from family and friends is one of the many challenges these performers face. However, it's something they take on in order to be a part of something they've wanted to be their entire life.
I love it. Seriously, I cannot get tired of, see people getting amazed, and big eyes and, breathtaking. And it's a feeling that you cannot get tired of. It's amazing.
And while Cirque du Soleil has left the hub city, a trip to Las Vegas could be in store to see one of the company's 7 other performances, including all-time favorites The Beatles' Love and Michael Jackson 1. Reporting for MCTV, I'm Abby Aldridge. Back to you, Megan and Alma.
Thanks, Abby. On Monday, spring officially sprung as the first day of the new season kicked off with record-setting high temperatures. Highs climbed well above average to set a new record of 92 degrees.
That's right, Alma. We've seen a bit of a roller coaster of conditions since then, with highs in the 70s yesterday and temperatures forecast to reach above 80 degrees today. So what else can we expect this week? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The Memorial Circle cam is showing a lot of movement in the flags today. Wind speeds have been constant around 25 to 35 miles per hour, and gusts have already hit near 40 miles per hour. Scattered clouds have also been visible throughout the day, and they should increase before nightfall. Around sunset, temperatures will begin to fall, and there's a possibility of thunderstorms in Lubbock area until midnight. Depending conditions, we should see our first severe thunderstorm of the year, but by tomorrow morning, the clouds will begin to move out of the area and temperatures will stay mild. Highs are predicted around 70 degrees, but the wind will be sticking around another day. Gusts are forecast to reach up to 50 miles per hour by tomorrow afternoon. Overnight, the wind will cause temperatures to fall into the low 40s. On Saturday, we'll see a short escape from the windy conditions, and temperatures will end up in the upper 70s. There will be plenty of sunshine during the day, and temperatures should only fall into the 50s overnight. But on Sunday, the windy conditions return again with speeds around 20 to 30 miles per hour and a 40 mile per hour gust. Temperatures will climb back into the lower 80s, and there will be a few more clouds in the skies. On Monday, the final week of March will kick off with sunny skies and highs in the upper 70s. Winds will be calm and low temperatures will fall back into the lower 50s. Tuesday, we will again see some wind, and that will also bring rain back into the forecast. Chances are low right now, but we could see a shower or two later in the day. Temperatures throughout the day will start in the upper 70s, and wind speeds will in the afternoon overnight. Rain conditions will continue and temperatures will fall into the low 50s. On Wednesday, we'll start off the day with more chances for rain, with the best possibility in the morning. High temperatures will stay in the upper 60s and skies will be mostly cloudy throughout the day. Overnight Wednesday, rain chances will stay in the forecast and temperatures will be cooler in the mid 40s. Looking ahead, sunny skies will return to the end of the week before another chance of rain over the weekend.
A Disney-like action remake and celebrity falling from grace are two of the biggest headlines trending this week.
MCTV's Tiara Bryant joins us in studio with a look at all that and more. Tiara.
Thanks, Megan and Alma, and welcome to this week's edition of Entertainment Express. On Sunday's episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian opened up about her infamous Paris robbery back in October of 2016.
Like, okay, this is the moment they're gonna rape me, and I fully mentally prepped myself, and then he didn't. Then, they had the gun up to me.
The reality star was robbed in her hotel in Paris last year after uploading pictures of her $10 million wedding ring on Instagram. In the episode, Kim reveals that she was mentally preparing to be raped and killed. Thank goodness Kim came out of the tragedy alive, and Paris authorities are closer to finding the culprit. In Disney news, the box office hit Beauty and the Beast made $357 million worldwide and $170 million in the U.S. The film is a remake of the 1991 Disney animation, which starred Emma Watson. The success of the film isn't a complete surprise after the success of recent Disney films, such as Cinderella, which made $543 million worldwide, and Alice in Wonderland, which made over $1 billion worldwide. Whatever Disney's doing, it's working. Audiences are loving the classic remakes. In music news, this past Saturday, popular rapper Drake released what he calls a playlist, More Life. The playlist features other musicians such as 2 Chainz, Quavo, Young Thug, and Party Next Door. Drake even mentions his ex-fling J-Lo in one of his songs and even remastered her 1999 hit, If You Had My Love. The playlist has 22 songs and social media are eating it all up. Tomi Lahren, extremely conservative and at times offensive host of The Blaze, was recently suspended from her show showing support to pro-choice. Yikes. Laura was a guest on The View when she said, quote, I'm for limited government, so stay out of my guns and you can stay out of my body too. There's no word on how long she's suspended, but sources say it's just 1 week suspension. Rihanna is starring as Marion Crane in the final season of Bates Motel and was on Instagram Live watching her acting in slight embarrassment. On Live, Rihanna had friends over for a watch party. They were drinking and playing drinking games, agreeing to drink every time the word Norman was said throughout the episode. Ultimately, Ree seemed pleased with her performance as Marianne, as she and friends were cheering and celebrating at the end of the episode. I can't wait to binge watch on Netflix. Well, that's all I have for you for this week's edition of Entertainment Express. I'm Tiara Bryant. Back to you, Alma.
Thanks, Tiara. The Texas Tech baseball team is currently sitting at third in the nation after knocking off number 21 Texas with a series sweep over the weekend. The team came back home to face UNLV on Tuesday and pulled off another win, 5-2. Last night, the Red Raiders finished off their two-game series with the Rebels with a walk-off win. Tech bats were quiet yesterday with only 5 hits from 5 different players. Tech held UNLV scoreless after the 4th inning, and the game finished regular play with a 3-3 tie. In extra innings, the Rebels scored one more run, putting the game in jeopardy. But in the bottom of the 10th, Tech loaded the bases and UNLV walked 2 players to end the game. The Red Raiders hit the road this weekend as they continue their amazing season in Kansas against Wichita State University. The 3-game series kicks off tomorrow with a 6 p.m. first pitch at X Stadium. There's no TV coverage for this weekend series, but you can keep up with the score and stats by visiting texastech.com.
As we mentioned earlier, Diversity Week is wrapping up here on the Tech campus, but you can still have a few chances to get involved. Let's take a look at the MCTV events calendar. Tonight, the Texas Tech Library is hosting the Noche de Cuentos event in the Sub Matador Room. Starting at 6 p.m., the event will highlight speakers and storytellers with panel of faculty members. The night will wrap up with a special performance by a group of families that will exhibit the dance, drum, and philosophies of the Mexia Aztec culture. The Noches de Cuentos event is free and open to the public.
Tomorrow, the Women's Studies Department continues their portion of Diversity Week with a special TED Talk right here on the Tech campus. Bear witness when Say Her Name Is Not Enough is a special lecture that will be presented by Kimberly Crenshaw at noon in Human Sciences Room 173. Crenshaw's talk focuses on the realities of race and gender bias and how the two can combine to create even more harm. Tomorrow's lecture is scheduled to wrap up around 1:20 p.m. and it's free and open to the public.
And on Saturday, Diversity Week wraps up with the final event, the 2017 Miss Black and Gold Scholarship Pageant at the MCM Elegante Hotel on Avenue Q at 6 p.m. The annual event recognizes and awards women who exhibit academic excellence, leadership, community service, and personal wellness. The event features a meal and proceeds go towards future scholarships. Tickets are still available for the event and can be purchased through the link on the Diversity Week webpage. Just visit sub.ttu.edu and click Diversity Week 2017. Throughout the month of March, Women's History Month has been celebrated around campus and the Lubbock community.
With the month coming to an end next week, there's one way you can still make time and celebrate the history of women here at Texas Tech. From now through April 6th, you can stop by the library's Crossland Room to see a unique exhibit featuring women who not only helped shape Tech's history but also had an impact on Lubbock and the world. The exhibition is made up of glass display cabinets with artifacts, clothing, and photographs from each of the women being honored by the university. The honorees include Janine McKinney, who founded Tech's women's athletic program, Ginger Derrick, who served as NASA's first Latina flight director, and Tina Fuentes, former instructor and nationally established artist. The exhibit is displayed annually in the Crossland Room by Tech's Southwest Collection Library.
So, Alma, did you have a good spring break?
It was really nice having a break from school, you know?
Yes, it got to relax. That was really nice. Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.